Good afternoon, welcome to Market Wrap number 237. Stuart Williamson here at the helm. This is the last Market Wrap of the year for 2024. So I thought we'd cover a few of the views of what's going to happen in 2025 in the marketplace. What are the things that are going to help it grow? What are the things that are going to hold it back? And is it worth getting into it? So we're calling it resilient, rising and ready for growth, because that's what we think is going to happen. As inflation falls and borrowing costs ease, the UK property market is poised for a promising 2025. Hotspots like Milton Keynes and booming rental demand in places like Cambridge leading the way. And these are the things, therefore, you need to know about it. Okay, this is all research taken from Colliers, from Savills, from Knight Frank, and from Garrington's. Okay, so thanks to all those different sources. Thank you very much for your information. UK property market has demonstrated impressive resilience in 2024, despite headwinds like high interest rates, which we all know about, and geopolitical tensions, which have been pretty grim to say the least. Halifax reported a 4.8% annual house price increase for the year, which is pretty good. Nationwide says 3.7% annual house price increase. And this most recently has been driven by first-time buyers and people buying in the north. Now, why first-time buyers? Well, I think we discussed this last week. There's stamp duty changes coming in April, I think, of 2025, which is going to have a big effect on a lot of people. And so if you're a first-time buyer, it's probably a pretty good idea to get in now. So what other economic trends are shaping the housing market? Why is it good to be a landlord? Why should we be buying in now? Inflation is falling. Last month it did have a bit of a blip, but overall it is coming down, and the Bank of England is saying they don't think it's a bigger deal going forward, and they are going to be cutting rates potentially 4 times next year. The Fed in the US just cut rates again, and they're normally pretty hawkish, so it's good that they're doing that. So I think the UK can follow, and interest rates will be cut. Household disposable income. Now this is an interesting bit from Garrington's, and they say household incomes rose 15% between Q2 2022 and Q2 2024, while debt levels relative to income hit their lowest rates since the mid-2000s. That's pretty good, because we're always talking about affordability, and that topic comes up a lot with people asking me these questions. Is it not unaffordable to buy? Looking at regionally, what are the biggest areas? The Cambridge area is really getting a boost for the government. You've got the East-West Railway that's being built between Milton Keynes, Oxford and Cambridge. It's now in the final planning stages. You've got 10 days in January, I think, to complain about it. And I'm sure lots of people will, but I saw an amazing thing that they're building a underground tunnel in one area to make sure they don't affect some bats, which is amazing that they're doing that. I don't know whether it's bat friendly or batty when it comes to an investment perspective, but they're certainly doing that. Other places, we're seeing the north of England, northwest, which is Manchester and parts of the northwest. We're seeing Birmingham, Nottingham, all doing very well as they're benefiting from HS2. And now that HS2 Light is going ahead as far as Manchester, we're told, because if it doesn't, there'll be a loss of capacity of 33%, I think it's been quoted as, if a new HS2 north of Birmingham is not built. The government's aiming to build 150,000 new homes just in the Cambridge area, so that will support it. House prices in Cambridge are up to 588,000. Lots of very positive things. Over the next 5 years, Northwest, according to Colliers, they expect to see a 30% growth in house prices. London is the weakest due to affordability constraints, and it is unaffordable. And they're looking at about 17% according to Colliers over the next 5 years. But again, it's up. And this is the thing we need to get away from. Everyone is always looking at short-term problems. Interest rates are up. Affordability. Not enough houses, this, that and the other. These are short-term things. Longer term, the market will do well. Look at the rental market. Rental prices have gone up by 27% since 2021. £270. They're now at £1,270 on average per month. Colliers expected to continue rising, probably a lot lower, probably about 3.7 to 4% in 2025, but still going up. And you've got hotspots again, and I'm choosing Cambridge because I've done a fair amount of research there recently. Rental market is tight. Listings are 23% down in Q4 2023-2024 for Cambridge, contributing to an 8% annual growth, according to Savills, of house prices there. From an investment perspective, we're trying to extend into different sorts of property at APW because some people are somewhat worried about buy-to-let, although I believe there's no reason. We're doing commercial property, and that is really booming. Commercial property returns will hit 11% in 2025, according to Colliers. We've seen a lot of very profitable commercial sales go through over the last month. And as they say, when commercial leads, resi follows. So commercial is going up, resi will follow it. Key opportunities in the commercial market do lie in prime regional office spaces, build to rent and industrial space for offices. But affordability challenges and the ESG requirements are reshaping all that. It's quite difficult. But other areas we're looking at are supported living. Supported living is where you have the government paying you a fixed income over what can be up to 25 years, as high as 10%, plus inflation adjusted, to have people who can live in the community and not live in homes. That's very good. PBSR, purpose-built student accommodation, very strong. So there's heaps of those sort of things we're looking at. What are the challenges? If you look at Cambridge, they can't get enough electricity in there. So 9,000 new homes and 700,000 square metres of commercial space are being delayed because of that. Regulatory changes, tenant protection reforms, the ageing level of buy-to-let landlords. They're all starting to hold that sort of market back. And it's driving some people out of the market altogether. But you do have rental supply constraints are going to drive the rental market up, which is not good for anyone really. Long term, it's very poor. 5-year outlook, house prices growth, according to Savills and Colliers, 23.4% nationally. Now, you can gild the lily all you want, and you can say they've got skin in the game and it doesn't matter, but end of the day, these are credible, proper companies saying this. Colliers are saying 17.6% rental growth by 2026. So strong stuff. Where do you want to look at? Where are you going to think of buying? As I said before, pies, population growth, infrastructure growth, employment growth. Where are we seeing those? Places like the big biotech centres, Milton Keynes, Oxford, Cambridge, the cheaper locations where you've got big population growth and infrastructure development, like Nottingham, Birmingham, Manchester, those sort of areas. And then one-off locations like Leicester. Leicester's undervalued and quite a cheap location to buy. Good industry growth. Exeter has got good property growth down there. Cardiff has done very well. So all these places have got good opportunities for growth. So look out for those sort of things. Don't just jump into what everyone else is doing or what your latest person sending out emails, marketing properties talking about. So that's really the market wrap for 237, the last one of 2024. It's very positive, we think. We're looking forward to it. We're just opening a new office down in South Africa. We've got other new offices to follow. So it's an exciting time for us. So thank you very much for all our clients who supported us, and thank you very much for listening and watching. I've got some questions, some comments from different posters over the last week. Richard Clapworthy, 6381. If you think it's simple to see, as long as Starmer is in power, we stand no chance of getting out of this. And I think, he does seem to have painted himself into a corner. I think they thought it was going to be a lot easier than it really is, which is disappointing. You just need to try and look outside the standard box. And as I said before, build to rent. Look at that. That's a good high yielding concept you can get into. Student accommodation, if you do it in the right way. Purpose built, supported accommodation. That's a good market to be in. So there's quite a few different things you can be doing. Just try and look outside of the box. Pick a mix. Yes, supply and demand drives prices, but crucially, prices are also capped by affordability. That cap has dropped dramatically as mortgage interest rates have quadrupled in 2 years, and inflation has made everything in life significantly more. Well, that's true, but if you look at the Garrington research, they say household balance sheets are in a strong position. Debt levels relative to incomes are the lowest since the mid-2000s, which is pretty positive. Low unemployment and rising income levels are expected to foster favourable conditions for the property market in 2025. Household disposable incomes rose by 15% over 2 years to Q2 2024, while house prices only increased by 1.5%. So that does say that perhaps it is a better market out there than people, again, in the short term perceive. It's not all doom and gloom at all. It's a very positive market. It's a good time to be getting into it. And finally, Sam Hodkins, bless him, Labour are creating homelessness and mass poverty, and I think it probably means he needs to go and be consigned to history forever. Well, as Donald Trump says, it's true. The Labour experiment could well end in social disaster. I don't think it's been thought through well enough, but who am I to know? I just do property. So there we go. That's it for this week. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you all in 2025. Have a good new year. Make sure you don't write lists of things that you want to achieve, New Year's resolutions, because as we know, New Year's resolutions very rarely make it through the first 2 or 3 weeks. It's got to be an endemic change to your life, which has got to be buy a property a year. That's what I always do. Works for me and it works for my clients. Take care. Cheerio.